Hello everyone, welcome back to the Grand Market Line. This is my second video. I'll leave a link in the description to my first. Here I just talk about some one-piece cards that I think may or may not go up in value, and I try to give tips along the way on how to buy certain products and what to look out for and maybe save you some money and get some deals along the way. For instance, I have up on the screen Starter Deck 5, the film edition. This is tcgplayer.com. I wanted to give my viewers a chance to see where you get these cards. So this is TCG I have up here. It's selling the film starter deck for $29. But if you look at the second tab I have open here in Amazon, you can see the same structure decks going for $24.92. So that's about a $5 savings just by checking out a different website and doing a little bit of research. The third website I have open in my tabs is eBay, and you can see it's $27. So both eBay and Amazon are cheaper than TCG. TCG is like the more well-known website. It's where a lot of card collectors go and get their cards. It's where you'll get a lot of good prices on singles and whatnot. But always check different websites, different platforms to try to get the best price. So that's tip number one I wanted to hand out today, and I hope it helps. Next thing I want to talk about, and this goes back to my previous video, is the rewave of the original Romance Dawn structure decks. I talked about these structure decks, or not these structure decks, these booster boxes. I talked about these booster boxes to make the point that when the second wave comes out, I don't think all the cards are just going to plummet to the earth in value. That's because these boxes are roughly $170 a piece. When this game first came out, these boxes were sitting around at $80 to maybe $100, depending on where you were buying them. And it quickly kicks off right to $170 on the second rewave. With that being said, I think that a lot of the cards in this set are going to hold their value because, again, they're base set cards. And to even get another swing or a chance at pulling some of these cards, you already have to shovel out $170. So keep that in mind when you're fire selling your cards and you think that the second wave's coming and they're all just going to crash. That's not absolutely certain. It can happen, but the chances are that you have a good chance at saving some value in your cards as well. Again, I want to make the point that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving my best opinions on these cards, what I think. I've been doing this a while. I've made some money in this game. That's what all of this is based on. But invest at your own free will. And I hope together, though, that we can make a few dollars along the way, pay for the cards we get, and we can enjoy this game without having to have it cost us anything and maybe make some money along the way. So the next set that's coming out, the OPO2, is called Paramount War. I have this up again just to show that quickly we shoot out to almost $200, $193.93. So it's going to be hard to make some value off of this with the pre-sales being so high. You're going to have to essentially pull what would have been a NAMI in the first box. And this just, again, I want to reiterate the point that your cards from the first set, I believe, will hold value. This is my reasoning for this, is that you just have to pay such a high dollar amount even to get back into some of the new cards and to get some of the cards we already got from OPO1. So just keep it in mind. There's nothing cheap about this so far that I'm seeing. It's going to be an expensive game. Hold on to your product. It's only going to get more valuable, in my opinion. There's always chances for some cards to dip, but that's just the nature of the beast. I think overall, a majority of the cards from OPO1 are going to keep value. And I'm going to further iterate that by showing you some deck lists that are in the metagame and winning some tournaments and being in the top metagame over in Asia in a Singapore tournament that they held. I'll show you some of those deck lists later. And you'll see that a lot of them have the OPO1 cards that we are using today. And anytime a card is being used and it's relevant, it's in the meta, as well as it has collectors trying to chase it, that bodes well for keeping cards expensive. All right, next up, Romance Dawn Booster Box. Just another point that right now, even without the rewave, we're sitting at $274. I was talking about the box toppers on my last video that they were $10, $11 a piece. The Nikos right over here, 10, $11, $12.50 now with shipping. And you only get one of those a box, and this box is $274. Let's see if there's a few cheaper. Those aren't verified. You're looking at verified sellers selling English boxes here, $274. So $274 to get one box topper to have a chance at a card like a Nico. That's undervalued in my opinion right now, sitting at $11. That goes for the same thing with the Don that I mentioned. I just wanted to pull that up for people to see it. I wanted to give you an accurate price tag on what a box costs you today, as well as like what a pre-sale looks like in the future. This is the Nico once again, and then the Don, both one per box. Next up, I want to talk about cards like Queen, and I want to talk about decisions and when to buy singles and when to buy structure decks and other things like it to give you the best chance at getting cards for the cheapest amount. So let me explain further. Queen here is sitting at $13. If you needed Queen for your purple deck and you need a 4 of, it's going to cost you $13.20 for a single copy, or $52 in total plus tax, or plus some change and tax. So that's $52 when next to it, you can get a starter deck that comes with 2 of these queens already inside of it, going for $47. I'm not saying one price is essentially better than the other, but do keep in mind that gives you 2 of these just in this box. So that's already $26.40 in value. Next up is Alvita, $7.10 with $1 in shipping. That's $8.10 in total. She's ran as a 4 of in the next meta. Again, I'll show you that at the end of the video where I'm getting that information, showing you some of the deck list. So I wanted to bring her up. Meta card, ran as a 4 of, $8.10. You only get one chance to get her every $270 you buy a booster box. I think it's a great deal. Following that, we have Mihawk, the Parallel Rare, the Altar Art, $40.40. I wanted to bring him up because $40 seems quite low for an Altar Art. He's getting towards the bottom. The lowest one I know of is King, sitting at $30. With Mihawk sitting as a $40 card, he's ran as at least a 2 of in the next meta game. He has some play in the future. I think you can get him for a pretty low deal here, and you get to show him off. I think he's got a chance to go up in value. I don't see him going much lower. I want to check his price history. Let's see the lowest he's ever been. Lowest he's ever been is pretty much now, $39. Again, $270 gives you one Altar Art guaranteed per box. You have a chance at more, but you get one guaranteed. He's ran in the future. I think it's something to look at. But let's talk about why a card would go down in value. So we have Trafalgar Law. That same deck list I'm going to show you later has him being ran as a 2 of. And I've looked at a few deck lists in the future. A lot of them have him ran as a 2 of. You can maybe run a 4 of if you like. I'm sure some people will. But that's why a card can go down in value. He was sitting at around $100. I'll show you that. So $98, $101. A card goes down in value when A, it gets easier to get, which would be like a reprint, or B, in the next meta, it doesn't get ran as much, and there's no more tournaments in the future to provide such a high price tag for it. So $82, I think he could continue to go down in value. If you want this guy, I might hold out a little longer. We've already seen it drop $18, $17 with shipping. I think we can go a little lower. Same goes for Eustace. This guy's ran as low as a 1 of in some decks. $49. He was as much as $75, I believe. This is $62. I'll have to show you my eBay where I sold him for $75, but that's okay. eBay's a little different. That's a good point that I brought up anyways, because eBay, you can put in the description and a picture exactly what the card looks like and if it's near mint. My cards were pulled fresh out of the pack, so I got away with selling it at $75. It's a great tip to know too, is just if you truly just pulled something and it's near mint or fresh packed is what I like to say in the description, some people are willing to pay that little extra money to get a card that they know is mint. They might just want to collect it, put it in their binder, seal it away. some have the idea of getting those graded, and if they know it was just freshly packed, it's never been played, they have a higher chance at a higher PSA score, and they're sometimes willing to pay a little bit more money for it. But I believe he's going down and is a little bit lower than he was for the same reason as Trafalgar Law. I don't think he's going to see as much play in the next format. He will see some, but there won't nearly be 3 ofs, 4 ofs in every deck the same way there was in OP1. Now my high pick and my high rarity pick that I want to say will go up in value that has a chance is Monkey D. Luffy leader card parallel. I believe there's 4 leaders per case that you have a chance of pulling. So he's sitting at $82. He's the main character of the show. I think years from now we're gonna look back and say this was a really cool card that we should have got. It's the leader. Like any main character in any show that gets a high printing, they tend to hold value over time. So I really like him going forward. My penny stock of the day, I brought up Nico Robin for that same reason, that in the deck list going forward, just like we did with I chose Nami last week, or last video, excuse me. I chose Nami and Nico because they're both 4 ofs. They're both not that expensive right now. They're under that $5 mark. You can pick them up for $2.18. If you get it from the same seller, you can get each copy for $1 cheaper because you don't have to pay for shipping anymore. So I like her as another penny stock going forward. All right, so to bring up the deck list that I was mentioning before here, this is again the Singapore Asian Championship in 2022. So we have, let's see if we can find it, the 4 kings that was mentioned in the first video. You have 3 Kaido. There's 4 islands, which is huge to note. That might be a good penny stonk. Then we have the Sunny Coons that I talked about in the previous video. There's a 3 of right there. I said a 4 of. Some do play a 4 of. You have Nico Robin. She's sitting at a 4 of. Across here, over on the green side, we have the 2 Trafalgar Laws that I mentioned. That might be why they could be decreased in value, as they're just not seeing as much play. The box topper Nico running as a 4 of. In blue, we have Alvida, 4 box toppers right here, the $8.11 version, highest rarity. Mihawk ran at 2 here at the bottom. They were both $40 a piece. I thought that they might have a good chance at going up in value. But feel free to pause the video and go over these and look at a few of them. But this is some of the decks in the OPO2 meta, and that's what I'm basing some of my predictions on as to why I think certain cards will see some play and have some value in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you on the Grand Market line in the next one.